excited to share with you what I have colored in November. I actually got a lot more complete and colored than I actually thought I would. I ended up completing 8 pages. Obviously, the pages I completed weren't ones that I necessarily started in November, except maybe 1 page. However, I did complete pages and I got 8 to show you. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm really hoping that the momentum's growing and my my luck is going to change, that I have had a breakthrough. So I'm going to clear off my desk and show you what I've been coloring. First up is Fairy Touch of Magic by Klara Markova, and I do have an autumn whip still, which is this one, and as you can see I've done a bit more. I still have got a ways to go, but I've done her skin, gave her blue eyes. I think I did the table and some more leaves. So yeah, really do like coloring in this book. It just takes me a little while, and the gouache in the background works really well, so I'm very happy with this, and hopefully I can finish it in December. Otherwise I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but fingers crossed. Let's hope. And then I've come onto this page. I really like this page, and I've started working on here for Christmas coloring, and hoping to get either this one plus another one done in December, or at the very least just this page. I really like coloring in here, and the winter and Christmas pages in this particular book are really beautiful, so I really hope I can get quite a few done. So those are my whips in Fairy Touch of Magic by Klara Markova. I'm using Prismacolor pencils for the pencil work, and here I haven't done anything else except pencils. Here again, the only thing besides pencils is the gouache background. And that's part of why it takes me so long to finish these. It's because I use pencils, but I really do love using pencils. And pencils on good paper is just magical. So Fairy Touch of Magic by Klara Markova. Then in Fairy and Fantasy 2 Grayscale Coloring Book by Christine Karen, I started this page here, and I'm following Miss Martley's color palette and basically how she colored this page, although I'm not really sure that I very much like the colors. I'm not really sure what I feel. So yeah, hopefully I'll just persevere, get it done, and it will be another page completed in this book. In the meantime, I think I'm just going to maybe shelve it for now and come back to it at a later stage. Using Prismacolors, and yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's quick coloring. I'm not feeling very inspired. So it just may be that I'm not in the mood for it, and yeah, my mojo hit and then ran away for this page. But that is Fairy and Fantasy Grayscale Coloring Book by Christine Karen. Then in Fantasy Figure Special with designs by Maud Lemoyne, hopefully I can get to this in January. I want to put my non-Christmas coloring to one side for December so I can do Christmas coloring, and then come back and pick this up again in January. So I really like how it's going. His clothes have gotten me a little bit confused, because this part here looks like it's metalwork, and then there's a lot of fabric, so I'm not yet sure what is fabric, where is metal, and that sort of thing. And yeah, it is leaving me a bit confused. I think this here should be metal. Definitely this cufflink here. Yeah, I'm a bit stuck. I really like how she's turned out, and I've used some gel pen for the stems on the leaves, which I really like, and the Inktense leaves I think work really well. I went over the background and just tried to deepen it up, and I think the contrast works. It just helps make the characters pop. I do want to do him in a lovely red, and I'm thinking maybe a white cloak. Yeah, I'm really stuck on him. So generally when I get stuck, I know just stop, go away, come back to it later, and the inspiration will come. I did start working on his hair a bit, so just one step at a time. But I think I'm going to put this away until January and hopefully come back to it in January. So that is my WIP in Fantasy Figures Special by Maud Lemoyne. I have another WIP in Amarantine by Anastasia Eli Caldereva, and this is up on the channel as a color and chat. I don't know if anyone actually colors along, so I thought I'll just call them color and chats because I color and chat to you as much as I possibly can. And I've lost my page. But yeah. I also get mixed feelings about whether color alongs are really successful these days. Don't know if people really color along, so to speak. So I thought, let's call it a color and chat, because then there's no pressure on anyone to color along. It can just be what it is and it works. Here we go. All right, so here I use Prismacolors for the skin, but I am using polychromos for her hair, and I've gone in and put a little bit of gel pen as pebbles, and I think that works really well. It just gives it a nice little shimmer. I'm trying to bring in some of the green into her skin to just created that it's more natural and not disjointed where it's a headpiece on top of a person. I wanted to kind of blend and look like her headpiece actually fits and belongs on her head. So hopefully I can pull that off. But yeah, I just need to carry on with this. But again, I think I'm going to pause this and come back to it so I can do Christmas coloring in December. But yeah, I really like the idea behind this one. I think it's going to look really lovely when I'm done. So that is my WIP in Amarantine by Anastasia Eli Caldereva. Okay, so I have my completed pages now. So I've shown you my WIPs. These are my completed pages. Now I did 3 completed pages in Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson, and I'm so proud of myself because I knocked it from 7 down to 4 WIPs, and that is huge progress. I really would like to get to a point where I don't have any more WIPs in this book. I am very pleased that one of the WIPs that I completed, it was one of my more older WIPs. So this has been going on for a really long time. I actually don't like it. It's much better than what it was. When I started this page, I chose an analogous color scheme, and I thought it would work out in my head, and I think it looks much better than what it was. However, I'm not sure I chose the best colors. So I think if I had done like red here or green here, I don't know, maybe I needed a contrasting color. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm not totally unhappy with it. I think I've managed to make it nice-ish. I wouldn't say it's wow. I followed the Helen Elliston special effects coloring tips for colorists to do some of these gemstones on here and just practice gems again. And I really like how they've turned out. I also try to borrow some tips from the same book on how to color feathers, because I don't color feathers too often. So I've tried a bit here. Yeah, it's not brilliant, it's not terrible, there's room for improvement. Worked a bit more on the crystals. The background, if I remember rightly, is near color 2. And then I don't remember what I did as a base, but I went over it with Gamzai Tambi pearl colors to create like a magical shimmery effect. I've got a whole lot of gel pen on this particular vase here just to add to that sparkle. A lot of Posca pen up here, and I tried to create that this was more like glass, and it's reflecting or picking up the different colors on the page. So yeah, I tried it. It's not brilliant, it's not terrible, but yeah, so yeah, it's okay. So that is my oldest whip in this book, now complete. This here is the whip I've been working on. So I've been building up her skin tone. Again, I'm using Prismacolors, but it's been really focusing on her skin tone. I most likely am not going to use pink hair. I find whenever I use a lot of pink in my coloring books, there's something about the pigments, and the pink actually after time seeps through and bleeds through to the other pages, and I don't really want that. I don't mind in smaller places, I think it's a lot more manageable, but for some as much hair as this, it would bleed over into 2 pages, which especially on this side, you could see it if you really look closely. So I think I'm going to change tactics there and stick away from the pinks. The background is Scola chalk paints, and then white splatters and stick-on stars. Then here is gold foil. So once it's done, I think it will look really, really pretty. But for now, just working on her face. Okay, so then my next page was this one. Now here, I did start this in November and finish November. And I saw on Rebel Unicorn Crafts Instagram, she'd done a relaxed video where a technique that just helps her relax. And it was creating these beautiful stones. So I got really, really excited, and I went in with my gouache paints and I created this beautiful background. And then I realized I still had to color the moths, and I was so stuck because if I did it too dark, it would disappear into the background. And if I did it too, how did I manage to pop out the moths so you could actually see them and not be completely distracted by the beautiful background? So maybe in hindsight, I should try the background separately and then in the book. But, live and learn. I really like the background. So I decided to go with more light colors on my moths. And I tried to keep even their bodies relatively light. So you can see the top one is a bit more of like a whitish moth with gold or yellow in it. I used a Posca pen for the black and then the white. I used gel pen on all the jewelry and just to give it some sparkle. I really try to keep it simple. I think these two are probably better. I managed to do the gems really, really beautifully. And I think this is my favorite moth. I think in hindsight, I probably would have covered up all the black lines and then colored over it. I used, gel pens, metallic gel pens on the wings to give it that shimmer. I didn't go overboard with sparkle or anything because I felt like the background really adds a lot of color and creativity. Let me know your thoughts. What would you have done? Would you have done dark moths, light moths? I really didn't want to have it that this page was just a boring page, you know. Sometimes these sort of styled pages, it's very easy for me to just, you know, do a splotchy background with my watercolor paints. I really wanted to push myself to try something new, and I don't think it's a disaster. I actually quite like it. I'm just not sure that the two work together. So maybe next time I need to actually change the colors of the stones and maybe have them more muted so that the main focal point can be a bit darker and not contrasting and fighting for position with the main picture. So that is my moth page. And then I have this page. So again, this is an old web, but I didn't start this page. It was started for me by someone else several years ago. I went to a get-together with friends at the time, had some of my coloring books, and said to them if they wanted to color with me, they were most welcome to pick a page. So somebody picked this particular page and colored in this centerpiece here and then the abdomen, and that was it. So I really had to think carefully about how I was going to work with these colors and pull them out to bring a bit of balance to the page. Now my glitter glue spilt quite a lot, so I lost a little bit of finesse over here, but I really like how it's turned out. I kept it without a background because I really wanted it to be simple. I used gel pen around the frames and in the center of the flowers. I used Spectrum Noir sparkle pen on the wings to really give it that shine. I used 3D Dovecraft 3D Pearl effects on these white spots, and Posca pen and Prismacolors. So yeah, I think it's actually turned out really well, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I'm glad that I was able to take what someone else had colored, and I couldn't really do much on where they had colored because they'd burnished. So I tried a bit here to bring in a bit more dimension, but it was a bit tricky. And then I worked as best as I could to create a very captivating moth. And I really like the colors, like the dark purpley red into the orange. So yeah, very pleased with how this has come out. So I have 3 whips complete in this book. And that is what I've done in Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. Next up is Magical City by Lizzie Mary Cullen, and this one took me quite quickly to do because I was using my oil pastels on top of a gouache background. So except for the space station, I colored the background with gouache paint, and then I went over it with really old and cheap oil pastels. And I wanted to create a Da Vinci sky and kind of effect going on. I really liked the movement of Da Vinci style of coloring, or painting, sorry, I should say painting. So I try to bring it down into here and then in the sky. Because my paints are old, and my youngest son, when he was much younger, he actually took the papers off all my oil pastels, and he was very proud of himself. So my oil pastels are actually really dirty, and even though I clean them as best as I can before I put them on my page, the brightness of the colors is lacking. So I do think I need to invest in a new set of oil pastels. I used Inktense pencils on the satellite, and then a metallic Sakura gel pen on the edges of satellites. I only used 2 pencils for the satellite, and I think it was the Storm Dust Grey pencil and then a silicon or canary yellow. And yeah, so very, very quick. I think within an hour it was done. I really like how it came out. I managed to remember the technique and got the right movement. So yeah, loads of fun, and I look forward to actually trying something like that again. So that is my completed page, mixed media style, in Lizzie Mary Cullen's The Magical City. Then in Creative Haven's Autumn Charm, I have 2 autumn pages, which you will recognize because I did this one as a live stream video, and I just had very little to finish, so I finished it up, and I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. And the orange pumpkins in the red truck I think work quite well. So yeah, really happy with how this one came out. And then I have the other one, which wasn't too far, and it is this one. So here I used Prismacolor pencils and a little bit of gel pen on the post thingy here, the door handle, the wreath carrier on the tips of the lanterns, black Posca pen on the writing here, gel pen on the writing down here, and my favorite color combo was this one here. I really love this color combo. I think it works so well for the pots, and it just brings in the blue tones throughout the pages. I've got gel pen on the buttons and on his hat, and I think Posca pen inside the flowers. Yeah, really pleased with how this page turned out. Really like it, and I'm very pleased with how I tried to do the brickwork. You know, I tried to make it more like rustic natural bricks instead of beautifully blended bricks. And then I also like the color I used for the window. So those are my two whips, but my completed pages now, in Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodrich. So very happy with that. For autumn, I think that was successful. Finally, I have Romantic Country, the first tale by Erie, and I completed 2 pages in here. They were both whips, so I was able to finish this page here. And this one I'm particularly proud of because I decided that I wanted to create a stamp of a color along I followed. So this is the color along I followed by artist DK Design, and I really loved every minute of coloring along with her. So I decided I wanted to take this page and just replicate it here. And I didn't copy the video, I actually just copied this page as best as I could, and I really am pleased with how I managed to interpret some of the colors. And then I've decided that how I've done this page, this stamp here, is how I'm going to do the actual page. So I'm looking forward to that. And the technique here, I'm going to do the same when I get to that page, which I will show you in a minute. I honestly wished I had wax, red wax, because then I could go in and create an actual wax seal. I would have loved to have done that, but I don't have wax and I don't have a seal. So I tried to replicate it a little bit, and I went over the writing with a metallic gold pen. I've got a lot of Posca pen on here. I've got some more glitter gel pen here. Where else? I use gouache paint in the background, some more gel pen up here on the sewing machine. I had to look up how to color in old sewing machines, and then I went over all the writing on the stamps with a black Posca pen. So yeah, really pleased with how it turned out. This one here I copied from the Romantic Country, the second tale. Used the same colors and sort of style as I used on the page where there's the writing pen, quill, and the ink. So I'm really trying to make sure I'm connecting with the story. I feel like these books have a story. So that's this page. I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. So then I went on and I completed another page, and it is this page. So again, I used Prismacolor pencils and gel pens. So here's glitter gel pen up here and metallic gel pen for like the jewels. I decided I wanted to create a wooden grain here, inside here. I didn't do a background because I felt like if I did a background, I was going to take away from this centerpiece here, and then the whole picture would feel lost. So I decided to leave it very simple and create this here as a focal point. And I really think that it turned out well. I do like how it's turned out. I used Sakura metallic pen over here on the stems and inside the flowers. I made them white flowers just to contrast. And I decided that the leaves needed to be green and not autumnal. I felt like it would just kind of brings everything together and makes it pop. So I'm really pleased that I did green leaves. And then to just lift the green up, I went up here and used a green gel pen. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this page has turned out. And a very simple page and very effective. And then I used white Posca pen to color the rest. I forgot to do the dots over here, so I will just go and add that in. But yeah, it's just semantics really. So very, very happy with how this one turned out. And then I went and started working on my winter whip, which is in this side here, and I started working on the brick wall. So hopefully I can finish this one in December and January. So those are my completed pages in Romantic Country by Erie, and all of what I have colored this month in November. I'm very pleased with what I've colored and managed to complete. I feel very encouraged by it, and I can't wait to see what December has in store. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. As always, please do like, subscribe, comment below, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.